This is a outdoor end table, side table. It could also be used indoors, of course, as a plant stand or side table, whatever. The interesting thing about it that I was curious about, because I couldn't tell from the listing what it was actually made out of, it's 100% plastic, which is good, as far as I'm concerned. But you can see, see if I can get it to focus. Let's focus. There we go. You can see that it is just 100% through and through. And so it's got 3 legs. I'm going to put it together here and then take a picture of it. They do warn, which is very interesting. This little label right here is warning you about what not to do. For instance, don't avoid exposing any glassware to direct sunlight, which could focus and cause damage. So in other words, they're worried about you putting just a clear glass on here and sunlight hitting it and focusing it and making it melt or discolor or something. And also, please insulate against cigarettes. So if you have, an ashtray, you should put something under the ashtray. So very interesting, and I am excited to put it together and see how it looks. Okay, just because the instructions, as wonderful as they are, because they really just pretty much amounts to pictures, it says do not fully tighten anything until all screws, nuts, washers, and bolts are in place. Well, that may be true in some cases, but here with this particular table, you need to make sure that these bolts that fit into the legs here are nice and secure and tight before you go putting it onto the top that is here. And they do suggest putting it on a table. So there's almost no words in these set of instructions, which is okay, because it literally is just common sense how to put it together. But we don't all have the same amount of common sense, and that's why I wanted to just make that quick note. Okay, we're all done with this table. I'll be honest, it took maybe 15 minutes and probably longer to do the silly stickum tags, the numbers that they had on here, to get those off than it did to put it together. But it is together now, and I have it here in the spare bedroom. I'm not sure it's going to stay here. As I was saying, I'm not sure it's going to stay here. It may end up over by the side of the bed. It may end up as a plant stand, because this is the room where I have all my plants that I overwinter inside. But it's a sturdy table. Now, it's heavy. Do not misunderstand that it is, just because it's plastic doesn't mean it's light. It is solid. I will say that this is just slightly uneven where the two top pieces meet together. And maybe if they had had some kind of dowel system or something to bring the two pieces together, it would have aided. I did adjust tighten the screws underneath just to make sure it made it a little bit better, but it's still just slightly, there's a little bit of a lip there that you can feel. So yeah, I'm really pleased. Great little table. You can see maybe that lip over on the other side there. So good job. I will recommend this, but just be aware it's not perfect, but it comes really close.